Hello, hello, hello. Hey, how y'all doing? So I am Bernadette Henry, and I am here to talk to you about things that you think you need that you don't need to accomplish your goals in midlife. All right. So if you're here, just let me know who you are and where you are watching from. These are going to be a few quick tips to help you out. Right. So when you are in midlife, there are things that you may have wanted to accomplish in your life that you didn't get to accomplish in your life, or you're thinking of accomplishing something new that you haven't done due to various reasons, right? And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. It's easy to think that all you need in order to be successful at midlife is a checklist of things you need to accomplish. However, the truth is that what you don't need is often more influential than what you do. Taking your life back starts with casting aside preconceived notions and challenging yourself to take hold of your power. Okay. So, I know a lot of you, especially in midlife, if you have raised children and things like that, you've sacrificed a lot. You've sacrificed fun, you've sacrificed time with friends, you've probably sacrificed that goal that you had, and it's up to you to fill up that blank or fill out that blank of what it is that you wanted to do. And then sometimes it may be something that maybe you didn't want to do that now you want to explore, but you're so concerned about either other people's opinions or thoughts that you have of your own as to why you can't do something or why you shouldn't be doing something. So for me, when I was a child, right, jump rope was just such a fun activity. And as I became an adult, it became something, a tool that I used to help other people. Now, did I think that would happen? No. And it was up to me. Hey, Facebook user. It was up to me to determine, okay, I can take something or I can take this thing and use it to empower other people. Even at the age that I am now, it's certain things that I'm doing that I thought maybe I wouldn't have, accomplished, right? And one of those said things is going back to school. I was last in school back in 2004, and I kept saying to myself, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't want to go back. I don't need to go back. I'm comfortable here. I'm comfortable there. But I made a decision to go back to school, right? I just wrote a book. It was something that I've been wanting to do for a very, very, very long time. Um, and finally, I decided, okay, you're going to do it. I'm going to do it. And it got done. So, let's talk about three things that you can do to begin to accomplish those things that you want to accomplish. Number one, you want to prioritize yourself. As we go through life, we're so accustomed to taking care of everybody else that we forget about ourselves, and in doing so we end up being burnt out, and we end up resenting others. We have to make time for ourselves and do something we enjoy. I know a lot of times, as we're, especially I'll say raising kids because I'm a parent, a lot of times you kind of put things on the back shelf and you're like, okay, I'm going to invest everything that I have in doing this. You forget about yourself. And then when you become an empty nester or when your child is gone, you have no clue. You're lost. You're stuck because you put yourself on a bookshelf for so long. Like you have to do something, right? So I know a lot of times it's hard to try to fit yourself in when you are raising children, especially when they're small, but you got to find it. Even if it's something as simple as taking a walk or going out with your friends at least like once a month, anything, something that brings you fulfillment. Because like I said, if you are not doing anything for yourself to kind of distract yourself from what how you used to be before you had your kids, you're going to like get really, really down and depressed, right? Number two, you want to develop self-confidence, right? Sometimes you may struggle to feel worthy and achieve success on your own terms. A lot of times we're looking at, especially with these recent days, looking online, every time you turn around, you see this person starting a new business or this person doing this or this person doing that. And you're sitting down like, hey, I'm capable of doing X, Y, and Z, but I just don't feel it in myself. Right. And a lot of times without the self-confidence, you're going to be you're not going to be willing to take risks. Right. Because risks really involves you to kind of put yourself out there, and sometimes you may fail, but guess what, in those failures you learn, you grow, and you're able to come out stronger. A lot of times, you're seeing people that reach this major goal, but you got to remember how many times they got knocked down, or how many times things didn't work out, or how many times they got told no before they were able to work on this thing that they accomplished. A matter of fact, like I said, received my associate's degree like straight out of high school, like a year and a half after high school. And then I started going to another school. I was literally like 3 classes from graduating. And what did I do? I quit, right? And I've tried 2 times to go back to school during that time period since 2004. And it was just like I failed, right? It was failed attempts. But this time I said, you know what? I'm going to go back and I'm going to do what I had to do. And finally, 18 years after I finished my last attempt, well, not really the last attempt, when I was physically in school, well, actually, yeah, I'm about to confuse myself. But anyway, I went back to school, right? And I was willing to like take that risk and all of that stuff. And like I said, I felt worthy enough to say, hey, look, you got this. You put this off long enough. You're going to go back. You're going to be successful. And doing that, I had to realize what worked for me and what didn't work for me. So like I said, back when I, was in school in 2004, my life was totally different. My mindset was totally different than what it is today, or what it was when I tried those other 2 failed attempts to go. The learning style and those 2 attempts just wasn't what I needed, right? So I had to, when I went back to school, thank you. When I went back to school, I had to find what I knew would work for me. And that's exactly what I did. Even with working full time and going to school full time and having a family full time and still teaching my jump rope classes and still being a football mom. It's just so many things I have to do, but I had to, know that I was worthy enough in order to do those things, right? So you have to work on your self-love. And once you do that, you'll truly believe in yourself. And no matter if you fail or you succeed, right, you're going to be willing to go through it until you make it to where you want to go. All right. Number 3, your inner journey towards healing. Well, you got to work on your inner journey towards healing. Okay. A lot of times we are holding on to a lot of things, whether it's baggage, whether it's negative thoughts, whether it's anger, whether it's hate, whether it's lack of forgiveness. We are holding on to a lot of things that are holding us back. And when we hold on to those things, we either feel like, oh, if I do this, this person is going to look at me this way, or I don't feel this in my heart, or I can't do this because I'm still holding on. I'm working through this, and I can't work on this until and so it's like a lot of these things we have to work on. You cannot prosper and move forward until you work past a lot of things. Like I wouldn't be here today hadn't I went to therapy to deal with a lot of issues that possibly could have held me back, right? A lot of times it's not other people that are holding us back. A lot of times it's ourselves that's holding us back. And we don't see it until we get in front of a professional that could kind of point out, okay, you do this because of this, right? And like, it's just so miraculous how your wife is holding you. look, you got to do what you got to do, right? Sometimes, we have people that may not be in our corner 120%, but you have to become that person for yourself, right? And it's like, no matter what, you're going to have to, you got to make it work. I'm saying, like, you got it. And I mean, as long as you're not like hurting the people and things like that, you just got to make it work. Sometimes your goals are that more important. And when you can't accomplish them, right, you're going to feel rotten, and you want to, like I said, you want to feel good about yourself, right? So I want to, like I said, release the negative thoughts and patterns that you have and create some new ones. And number 2, you want to do, an honest reflection of yourself. So what is it that you need to do? Do you need to go to therapy? Do you need to see a life coach? Do you need to start journaling? Do you need to start exercising? Do you need to, like, what is it that you need to do in order to like move towards that healing, right? These are the things that you need to do. So I am basically finished, right? And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in as I wrap up, right? So when you're in midlife, there's a checklist of things that you don't need. You don't need a checklist to accomplish all of these things. Right? I know a lot of people say, hey, I need this and this and this and this and this. No. Number one, prioritize yourself. You're important. If you're not good to yourself, you're not going to be good to anybody else. And like I said, you've spent a lot of your life caring for everybody else. You put yourself in the back on a back burner, and that already could bring up feelings of resentment and other bad feelings. So in order to cure that, find time to make room or time for the things that you enjoy. Number two, you want to develop self-confidence, right? Without the confidence, you're not going to be willing to take those risks, because you're going to feel like, I'm a failure, people are watching me, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You got to be able to take those risks, and in order to take those risks, you got to have confidence. Number three, the inner journey. You want to have an inner journey towards healing, right? So you want to look at those negative thoughts, patterns, or past issues that you've had that's causing you not to want to do the work, to not want to take that jump, right? And like that's what you got to do, right? And however you do that, whether it's journaling, working out, eating better, whatever it is, right? You got to do it. So those are just a few tips, right? So whatever it is you either wanted to do or you want to do now, just get out and do it. Okay, just get out and do it. And that comes to jumping the rope, right? I recently wrote a book called Jumping the Rope, Move Yourself and Manifest Your Success, right? Jump is based on the principles of JUMP, JUMP, Journey of the Underdog Making Progress. Like I said, a lot of us want to move the needle, but we don't have the courage or the confidence in order to do it. And this book is giving you tips and strategies in order to move that needle forward. Because a lot of times it's our minds that's holding us back, it's ourselves that's holding us back. It's nothing that anybody else is doing. You have to make yourself that priority. You have to take your life back in order to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, in the face of adversity, in the face of like low self-worth, in the face of people talking about you. You have to be willing to take those risks. But in order to do it, you got to have that confidence. You got to be well, you got to heal, and you move forward. So be sure to check out my book. I will be sending out the link in a few days. But if you want to pre-order it from my website, www.makeitfunnyc.com, www.makeitfunnyc.com, and click on the shop tab. Or like I said, in a few days, I will have a link available for you where you can get it through Amazon. So hey, Thomas, how you doing? So thank you so much for watching, listening. Once again, if you found this valuable, feel free to share. And like I said, if you have any comments or questions or anything, send me a DM and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye. Thank you. On just Facebook user. I don't know who Facebook user. Thank you so much.